Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, we're going to talk about why should I invest in gold and silver? That's right, the numbers don't lie. So we're going to talk about it now. This is going to be controversial because those preppers and stackers are going to have a lot to say. But we're going to talk about it here today, and welcome. So first up, Tifosi Optics. Check. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. And as you can see, we're on the usual YouTube Stop Struggling Now page. And today we're going to have a controversial topic for all the silver and gold stackers. As you guys know, I always say creating wealth, there's different ways you can do it. Some believe that you should invest in gold and silver and precious metals a large amount. And as you know, I've advocated less than 5%. And there's reasons why. So today, I'm going to get flack from the silver stackers, the preppers, and all that about saving their gold and buying all this gold and silver over 20, 30 years. Well, we're about to talk about it. I'm about to give you some stats because you guys know I like facts. I don't like hearsay. And I don't like dreaming about stuff that ain't going to happen. We're always talking about let's get real. So here we go. But first, I must admit, thanks to you, the viewer, the people that support the channel. We have a join button over here for memberships now, so that's awesome. And I want to start out with this right here. We're going to go with this because it was done in 1933, 90 years ago. The Great Gold Robbery of 1933. What this coincides with is that there was a Great Depression. The worst of the worst. The whole reason why everybody says I gotta hold stock, not stock, but gold, silver, precious metals, platinum, palladium, and large sums of it in case of a Great Depression. Well, a lot of people apparently don't know that the United States government, after the Great Depression occurred in 1929, 1930, and they just basically barred you from being able to buy and sell gold. And some of you might be saying, hey Eric, what are you talking about here? Let me see if I can find this real quick, because I think I blew it. I didn't pull it up because I wanted to talk about a few things, but I'll go down through here. But they call it the Emergency Banking Act of 1933. Does the Emergency Banking Act sound familiar? Yeah, there was one just like a month ago. But anyhow, this one of 1933. This one, though, got an executive order. And you can see right here, on June 5th, 1933, passing a joint resolution and making it illegal to require payment in gold or a particular kind of coin or currency in the money of the United States. So basically, they're blocking you from your so-called stacking. So now that you can use that so-called inflationary money because things are bad in America, they say, ha, good try, ladies and gentlemen, that's not going to work. We're just going to ban you from being able to use it. So it goes on to say any provision of well, that doesn't really say it, but paraphrasing other people when they're writing this article, any provision in private or public contract promising payment in gold was thereby nullified. Payment could be made in whatever the government declared to be legal tender. And gold could not be used, even as a yardstick, for determining how much paper money would be owed. So therefore, all those gold stackers of the day, the preppers of the day, did not help them. And I wish I would have had this up, so I'm just going to have to pull it up because I kind of know what it is. Executive Order 1602-68. So here we go. 6814 is one of the executive orders. This one, though, and some people are sitting there with a sigh of relief going, oh, but I'm stacking silver, Eric. Yeah, okay. August 9th, 1934. FDR implemented the seizure of all silver situated in continental United States. Okay. Requiring the delivery of all silver in the United States for coinage. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and silver stackers. Yeah, the government didn't take too kindly. They needed all that gold and silver from its citizens. This is why, if you have a grandmother that's still alive and went through the Great Depression, this is why you find out where the Elizabeth Taylors of the world, they were getting jewelry made with gold or silver, because that would be the only way you could keep it legally. And then you can sell your gold or silver bracelets, charms, necklaces, earrings, jewelry. But if you had actual gold and silver coinage, bars, things of this nature, and trying to sell it, the government wants it. So all that wasted energy and effort was down the tubes during, quote unquote, the worst time, the Great Depression. This is the whole premise of stacking in case of, and this has been one of my little points of why I do not advocate you sitting there stacking unlimited amounts of money. For what purpose? There has to be a catastrophic event that's going to occur, and even if the catastrophic event does occur, the government could be working against you. So I just wanted to bring this up, and then of course I'll bring up the other one too, the 6102. That should be here as well. That's the gold one when he did the 61. Let's see if I can get that real quick. Yeah, here we go. Executive Order 6102, he signed that April 5th, 1933, forbidding the hoarding of gold coin, gold bullion, gold certificates. I think you got it right now, but look at here. This is interesting. The order was made under the authority of Trading with the Enemy Act. See, now, if this doesn't get you kind of wondering what's going to happen when whatever you're stacking for, I'm still trying to figure out. I haven't wrapped my head around it, but I'm sure some people are going to comment down below, because I get this same thing about I'm just stacking, and it seems like you're stacking just for the hell of it. Because if a pandemic occurs and nothing happens, and 2008 Great Recession occurs and nothing happens, in 1933, when there was a Great Depression, the only Great Depression we had, even though they don't talk about it, 1920s, same thing. But we'll stick with the one everybody knows about. At any time, nothing happened except for 2008, which I'm going to go into. This is going to be a two-part video, because this is something that the preppers and stackers seem to just ignore. And I'm not a prepper or stacker, but I am a 5% holder. I believe in 10% or less, but I'm not believing that you should just endlessly buy gold and silver just because it was 1,800 an ounce a month ago. Now it's 16 or 1,700 an ounce, so I'm going to buy more. And I'm sticking in the black hole, can't earn interest on it, can't earn dividend money on it, can't earn nothing on it, and that's in today's money. So now that's a black hole stuck at zero. There's no inflationary advantage, but we'll get into all that. So I know what the stackers are saying. They're saying it's a hedge. I'm building wealth. Again, I'm missing the wealth part. But let's get into... There's guys, the Hunt brothers, H.L. Hunt, billionaire, in 1970s money billionaire. He actually was a billionaire in 1970s, and in the oil business, not the Hunt food empire. But anyhow, his sons, who when he passed away in like 74, the Hunt brothers, they came up with the bright idea of buying silver. Basically, they're claiming they weren't trying to corner the market, but they were eliciting the help of Saudi Arabia, Arab countries, to buy up as much gold as they could. So they bought up gold for all throughout the 70s. It was no thing to them. They were going around, they were buying up certificates, they were hedging their bet, borrowing money to keep doing it. And you could just see what they're doing here from 1973 to like 1980, 80, around 1980, 81. It fell into 1980s. But here's the funniest thing of all. While these guys are out here buying up all the golds, just like J.P. Morgan recently did from 2015, 2016, 2018, and so on, they were allowed to. These guys, at the time, there was no precedent for anything like this. They're just borrowing to buy gold from Wall Street banks, from the Bank of England. They're just buying up everything in sight. So they're doing what stackers were doing. They're saying, well, you guys keep printing money. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Feds printed money back in the day. And they were just printing money. And they're saying, well, this is a hedge against inflation because we're stacking it. We're trying to make sure that when things hit the fan, we'll be good. Well, that's a nice story. Except for the fact that, again, you guys know what I've been saying recently, the one percenters don't lose, right? So what do? They got to stop the Hunt brothers, because the Hunt brothers are basically getting a whole bunch of silver and cornering the market in essence. That's what they're actually doing. They're getting a lot of, and they're moving it. They're not keeping in the United States. They're like saying, hey, Switzerland. Because at the time, Switzerland was more independent. They wouldn't listen to some U.S. government walking over there, sending letters going, hey, man, we need the information on our American citizens who have stuff hidden over there. Back in the day, Switzerland was straight up F you. Now, though, Switzerland's not like that, so people don't believe that's a safe haven if you're a United States citizen to put your money over in Switzerland. But anyhow, so here's Paul Volcker, the chairman of the U.S. Fed. What does he do? Look at this. They're going, no, we're not going to allow this. In a move to control rising inflation, ordered U.S. banks to curtailing their loans. So see, they were using loans to actually buy silver. Not actual, they were doing silver contracts also. Not only were they buying physical silver, now they're doing silver contracts, which I consider ETF like. So this is how they were getting the price to rise, because now the physical silver, there was less, and now they controlled even the ETF markets. So these guys had a serious problem going on. So I'm trying to find in this article when the government said, here we go. On January 21st, 1980, the commodity exchanges, with the support of the United States government, announced that no one could buy any more silver. Investors can only sell silver, and only sales to exchange approved buyers were allowed. Stackers, do check out history, please. So this is what happened. It's right here so you can see for yourself, even though the Hunt brothers were right on the money, because in 1970 there was an oil embargo. The United States got off the gold standard so then they could have the petrodollar. This in turn allowed them to print money, just what we're doing now. The Hunt brothers were exactly right. Since they're printing money, there's going to be inflation, which is exactly what happened. So silver did rise to roughly, what was it, $50 an ounce or something like this. But yet the United States government and the commodities exchange worked against American citizens. So when the price did go up to 50, they then tried to block them, which is what they did. They did block them, which now means the price has to go down. And as you can see, the next day, the price goes from 50 to 34. And then on March 14th, as you can see here, the rules changed yet again from the stackers. And this is where Paul Volcker, chairman, comes in and says they can't borrow no more money. We're not going to let them get them ETFs types silver. And since that's the only way they can afford to buy the money, they're shut down. So here we are. This is what happens. And again, stackers, you think that the government isn't going to do something again if things do hit the fan. The government's not your friend. They're not sitting. This is a situation where you could have ordinary citizens, OCs, who are basically mom and pops, who says, you know what, give me 5 to 10 ounces of silver once a month. Give me a gram of gold once a month, or give me an ounce every 2 months. The fact of the matter is, those would be people who are hedging against inflation, anything bad is going to occur, things like that. In a capitalist, normal society, there wouldn't be a problem because there would be no ETFs. Simple. ETFs changed the game. So I'll get into that shortly as well. But first, you have to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, because if you're saying, well, I'm spending thousands of dollars putting it in the black hole, as I call it, you guys know how I feel about this. I bought thousands of dollars worth of gold and it's sitting on my desk since 2015. What good is that to me? Nothing. I'm not earning a damn thing on that. That is not passive income, ladies and gentlemen, no matter who says it. So not to make this too long, because I'm going to make this a part 1 and a part 2. But here's something that's very interesting. I'm going to get into some numbers because you guys know I like numbers. So I'm going to go over here to 1990. And in 1990, as you can see, gold was $369. It fluctuated, 360, 368, 400. But I'm going to go with $372. I already picked this out already. And here is the funny thing. It was $369 in 1990. Let's $370 in 1990. I got 372 on my chart that I'll get to in a second. But as you can see here in the 2000 though, if you 10 years later, you can see gold less. So there's no, and never mind, there's inflation every year. So basically you're at a double loss. No way to, it's in a black hole at 370. You come down here and now it's 277, still in a black hole, earning you no money, no nothing. And I'll get into something else in a second. But here, 2006, it starts rising because, of course, we have the Great Recession. This is what should happen. They start printing money. They have to do bailouts. They have to start figuring out what they can do here. So this thing rises all the way up to like 1800. I don't know if I'll be able to put that on the screen. But yeah, there we are, 1800 in 2011. If I'm not mistaken, as everybody can see at the top of the screen, it's 1719 in 2020. So there's people who were all happy. But again, if I bought this in 1990 at 370 and I waited till 16, let's just say this is 2007, so we're at 17 years later, I can double, well, that doesn't even double my money. But yeah, let's say in 2007 I get to double my money. So now for 17 years, the $372 finally comes to fruition where you get to double your money. But in 17 years, you would have doubled your money anyhow, even if you left it in the bank. But it's okay. I'll go with every stacker's dream where they say, let's get up to 1800. Okay, so I just want to know one thing. When it got up to 1600, did you sell? When it got up to 1800, did you sell? When it went down to 1600 again, did you sell? When it went down to 1700, did you sell? When it went down to 1300, did you sell? And when you went down to 1100, did you sell? Because what I'm trying to figure out is, here it is 2015 and it's at 1200, let's call it. 1990 to 2015 is a person's lifetime. That's 25 years. So are you going to tell me that you bought that ounce at $372 an ounce, and here we are 25 years later, you're going to do what? Keep holding it? For what? I'm not understanding. So maybe you guys will tell me down below why you're still holding it and what the whole purpose was in the first place. Now, with all that said there, here's what I'm going to do. Here's the stock market calculator. Just like you would have bought that 372 ounce of gold in 1990, I have it already on my screen here, May through April 20th. Does this not say final value $4,664 with a compound gain per year of 8.8%, total gain of 1,154%? I'm still not seeing it because, like I said, the best case scenario you would have been able to do is 1,800, and that's if you would have sold in that 2011, I believe it was 2011 or 2012 cycle. It was 2011. So that would be the best case scenario, and there's no hedge against anything, because if you would say it's a hedge against inflation, okay, I get you, but that's not an argument, because now if you don't sell when it's at the peak at 1,800, then what's the point? You're just holding it just to what? Pass to your in this time frame, 25 years, somebody could pass away. So what? You give that 372 ounce to your children, and it's worth 1,000. Well, today it's worth 1,700. That's 30 years, and that, quite frankly, could be what happens. So now you say, hey, back in there, I bought 3 bars, 3 silver bars, $1,000. That same 3 bars is 4,500. That 4,500, if you were able to sell it, which, okay, I won't even get into the sales price, but let's just say you were able to get your 5,100 bucks, which you wouldn't be able to because you're not able to sell it for 17, 19 an ounce right now if you wanted to. But okay, we'll just say you are $5,100, and you gave it to your kid, and they had it. They would have a 3 bars sitting there, and they'd be going, man, this is worth $5,100, and my damn rent is $1,400, $1,300, $1,500 a month. That's good for 3 months, if I could figure out what to do with it. Now, with all that said, let's move along to something else after I show you that if you would have just left it in the stock market, you would have had the 46.64 just off of the 1 ounce, the 372 that you would have invested. And meanwhile, that's 30 years. That's a person's lifetime. They're 25 to 30 years old. Now they're 55 to 60 years old. And if you would have just left it in the, I don't know which particular stock, or if it would have been a series of stock, but let's just say you kept it in the Dow or the S&P 500 or whatever, index funds or something. Apparently 8.8%, and I'll even go less than that. I'll say it's 7%. But either way, the 372, the 1 ounce I invested in 1990 is worth more than the 1 ounce price right now. And in fact, I'm losing money because, first off, it's not liquid. This right here in the stock market would have been liquid. So if I would have said, hey, I want to take out my $4,664, you'd have been downloaded to your bank account. That 1 ounce of gold, you got to run around going, okay, who's going to give me the best price for this gold? Obviously, I'm not going to get 17, 16. So what am I going to get, 1,500? All for 30 years? Come on. Come on. Talk to me, stackers. All right, Venezuela. Let's get into Venezuela, because everybody goes, I've heard these stories. They're like, yeah, in Venezuela, when everything goes and hits the fan, the Great Depression, which is what happened in Venezuela. Yeah, we can buy buildings, houses. We can do all kind of stuff. I'm yet to see, and now we know. I'm about to show you why United States citizens may not be going down there. But the fact of the matter is, before Venezuela situation happened and the United States government made a move, we're going to sit here and talk about. I didn't see anybody rushing down to Venezuela with their frickin' hundreds of pounds of gold and silver to go buy some homes, go buy businesses, go buy anything. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Anybody that's in Venezuela, why are they going to be buying your gold and silver? They're not. They're looking for food, water, before they're going to be buying your gold and silver. So, I mean, think about this. And then to add insult to the injury, this is from November 5th, 2018. And if you can't see this right here says the Trump administration on Thursday issued a new round of sanctions banning U.S. citizens from having dealings with anyone involved in corrupt or deceptive gold sales from Venezuela. Oh, guess you ain't going down there to buy jack crap. All right, let's get real. Now, here we are right here, just what I'm talking about. Hungry Venezuelans are selling gold rings and family heirlooms just to buy groceries. Of course this is going to happen. It's not going to be the other way around. They're not going to be the ones buying the gold and silver. The only people buying the gold and silver is going to be pawn shops. And you're not going to be taking hundreds of pounds of gold or silver down there to be buying up homes or anything else. Makes no sense. It's like the Twilight Zone. But what did work in Venezuela, imagine that. Somebody has the internet, they have some coins, they have Bitcoin. Bitcoin trading, obviously that's liquid. You can move it back and forth, you can pay your bills, you can buy food, you can do a lot of things that you can't do in America. Yeah, free society. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I just had to talk about this. There's going to be a part 2 because I can't let it go. There's going to be a part 2. This is already long enough. I want to also get into, before I let this go, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I know this is longer. That's why there's going to be a part 2. I want to go back to that 1 ounce at $372 inflation. If I were to put that, the $372 is worth $758 right now. That's the equivalent. So in essence, the difference between the $1,700 and the $758 is $1,000 over 30 years. And I just proved my point that you could have just put the 372 into the stock market at an index fund, I guess, would have had 8.8%, 7%, and you would have earned double what the ounce of gold is worth. So I'm not going to say no more. Check out part 2 because we're going to talk about this and some more. So anybody has comments down below, I am anxiously awaiting them. And everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below until you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. But the one thing is, 1%ers don't lose. 90% of the people can lose. In fact, this is why we're not taught the ways of the 1%ers. They need you to be an employee. They need you to be at work during a pandemic, risking your life while they sit up there in the glass house. Come on. Think about it. While you are an essential worker, while you are cleaning up whatever messes, being the janitor, being the person that has to work at the grocery store, You're the one that has to go get the meat out the trucks, get the drinks out the truck. Come on. Deliver food, deliver groceries to make a living. Meanwhile, top 10% in wealth get to sit at home and stay out of harm's way. It's hard out here. This is why you have to monetize yourself. That's what I'm going to be telling everyone from now on. Monetize yourself, monetize your life. You have skills, use your skill set to monetize it. And what happens? Today, my blender breaks. I'm sitting here looking on how to replace the blade. I don't have a regular blender. I was in the restaurant business. So I have a Hamilton Beach 650. Okay, this is no ordinary blender. This is the one that you will see behind a restaurant bar. Okay, it's heavy duty. The blade set itself, the blade set is the actual container is $112. The blade set itself is $83. I mean, this is crazy. I can buy 2 or 3 blenders for this kind of money. So, ordinary blenders, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, I could put a video out on how to change these parts. I don't even have the skill set really to do it, but I figured out how to do it. Now I can do a video based on that, but I'm not going to do it on this channel, obviously. But I'm just giving you an idea. Whatever skill set you have, you can use that to put a video out, and you can put video outs on everything these days. The Twitters, the Snapchats, the YouTubes, the Instagrams, the Facebook, and monetize yourself. Your skill set, yes, you're going to have to do more than one video. We all start with 0 subscribers, 0 views, and all that if you want to turn it into a monetary situation. But I'm just saying, monetize your life. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.